Hey everyone! First, I want to say a huge thank you to all my viewers and subscribers. You guys make this journey incredible. Your support, feedback, and comments on my last video were awesome, and today we're diving deeper into your questions. Let's break down the PvP and PvE versions of the Zombie Warrior build. Taking a closer look at the DOT-focused build using key gems and Baron set pieces to maximize sustained damage. Plus, we'll break down Demoralize with Lion's Mane and how armor penetration and critical chance scaling works. To understand the DOT build, you need to understand gems and synergy. This build thrives on damage over time. Instead of instant burst damage, it applies continuous harm, forcing enemies into prolonged suffering while increasing total DPS. Every DOT build in Diablo Immortal consists of these key gems and their effects. Misery Elixir enhances damage against low health enemies, making DOT effects lethal in extended fights. Everlasting Torment applies a lingering bleed whenever a critical hit lands, essential for synergy with high crit chance setups. Roiling Consequences boosts damage after using mobility skills, amplifying you crit chance. Viper's Bite increases poison dot damage, making all damage over time effects hit even harder. Adding Baron set for extra dot duration. The Baron set is the missing piece that pushes this build into overdrive. Two-piece bonus extends DOT duration, allowing Misery Elixir, Torment, and Viper's Bite to tick for longer. More dot uptime equals more sustained DPS and pressure in PvP and PvE encounters. Demoralize with Lion's Mane, Hidden Strength. When paired with Lion's Mane, it turns into a dot explosion machine. Execution of Demoralize transforms you into an uncontrollable zombie, and you are attacking only with Demoralize and all its affixes. Stats make the build work, but how do they interact? Armor penetration improves damage against high defense enemies by reducing their effective armor, making DOT damage even stronger against tanky opponents. Critical chance. More crits equals more procs of Everlasting Torment. This gem heavily benefits from crit scaling, as every crit hit applies additional DOT damage. Critical damage amplifies crit effectiveness, boosting burst damage during engages. This setup transforms the Zombie Warrior into a DOT machine, draining enemies relentlessly while keeping pressure high. By extending dot duration, increasing critical synergy, and leveraging Demoralize's hidden disruption, you create an unyielding force in both PvP and PvE combat. The essence, Terror Unburdened, only provides a cryptic hint, mentioning that you enter Uncontrollable Rage. But what does that actually mean? When it first launched, the effect was practically useless, since you were completely immobile during its duration. However, this changed in recent patches, though the update wasn't formally communicated. Unlike before the last patch, you can now move freely during Uncontrollable Rage, meaning your character isn't locked in place. Any form of crowd control CC, including stuns, fears, slows, no longer affect your mobility while the effect is active. If an enemy is within line of sight, your character automatically attacks it until they are defeated or the Demoralize effect ends. This change turns what was once a lackluster mechanic into a powerful tool, making your barbarian unstoppable in combat. However, the auto-attack limitation can sometimes cause unintended engagements, forcing your character to target opponents when you might prefer repositioning. While the game never officially described this transition, players have discovered its true effects through testing, making it one of the most undocumented yet impactful changes in recent patches. Let me know if you'd like any refinements. This is an exciting mechanic to explore. Set items for PvP and PvE, optimized for Zombie Warrior build. The Zombie Warrior build thrives on sustained damage, survivability, and crowd control mechanics. Selecting the right set items can enhance DOT duration, increase durability, and amplify utility effects, making this build deadly in both PvP and PvE scenarios. PvP set composition balances survivability and damage, ensuring dots last longer while keeping the barbarian durable in prolonged fights. Following set parts I am using currently for PvP. I use two-piece Vithus set, increases the duration of all beneficial effects, ensuring buffs and supportive enhancements stay active for longer. Benefit extends key survivability tools such as shield uptime or attack boosts, making engagements more favorable. Two-piece Baron set extends the duration of all DOT effects, including poison, agony, and bleed effects, while also amplifying the fear effect from Crimson Behelit. Benefit: maximizes sustained damage output by prolonging enemy suffering. Four-piece Mountbank set grants a protective shield, absorbing damage and enhancing durability during combat. Benefit: provides critical survivability, ensuring the barbarian endures heavy enemy attacks in PvP brawls. Why it works: this combination creates a balanced barbarian, extending DOT uptime while ensuring defensive survivability, perfect for gritty fights in the PvP arena. As Paragon, I am using Gladiator to increase my survivability and damage reduction. PvE set composition focuses on maximizing DOT damage output, leveraging ignite effects from roiling consequences and extended DOT duration. This build is valuable for boss encounters, dungeon runs, and particular in Terra Rifts. I do not recommend this build for open world farming and daily bounties. I use two-piece Vithis set prolongs all beneficial effects, ensuring sustained buffs for longer combat engagements. Benefit: works well in boss fights, ensuring buffs stay active during longer encounters. Two-piece Baron set extends the duration of DOT effects and fear applied through Crimson Behelit, ensuring longer tick damage. Benefit: amplifies sustained DPS, forcing enemies to suffer more over time. Four-piece Agments set ignites enemies after using mobility skills, creating an additional burn effect that procs alongside roiling consequences. Maximizes dot pressure, layering poison, agony, and burn effects, turning every engagement into a fiery nightmare. As Paragon, I am using Slinger to increase my crit rate and gain additional damage. Why it works: this set optimizes damage output, utilizing dot mechanics and ignite procs for maximum burn pressure, making it ideal for dungeons and boss fights. Both set configurations perfectly complement the Zombie Warrior playstyle, adapting either for PvP resilience or PvE destructive power. The PvP setup emphasizes survival while keeping dots effective, while the PvE build maximizes dot stacking and burn mechanics for superior damage output. Finally, let's see how this all comes together with some dummy testing. Testing both builds side by side highlights key differences in damage output and efficiency. Left side of the screen, using Sunder instead of Undying Rage to fully focus on damage output rather than survivability. Primary damage sources: Demoralize, benefits from extended DOT effects and synergy with Baron set. Wrath of the Berserker, providing bursts of damage amplification. Gems and Augment dot effects, consistently ticking damage over time. Resonance considerations: 3900 resonance with this PvE setup, using PvE gems in optimized combinations. Higher resonance plus better optimization would increase total damage output significantly. Right side of the screen, damage output. In comparison, PvP damage is lower than PvE but remains solid and consistent. Survivability and durability take priority, resulting in reduced raw damage numbers compared to full PvE output. Resonance shift: 4300 resonance with PvP gear, slightly higher than the PvE setup. PvP-oriented gem combinations rather than pure damage-based gems. Key takeaways: PvE build excels in raw DPS, while PvP build ensures sustained effectiveness in fights. Optimized gear and resonance scaling can further boost both builds, fine-tuning for the ideal balance between power and endurance. This dummy test clearly shows how focusing on pure damage output versus hybrid survivability affects performance. With further resonance improvement and fine-tuning, the PvE build could reach even higher DPS, while the PvP build remains strong despite lower raw numbers. Thanks again everyone for the amazing support. If you found this helpful, drop a like, comment, and subscribe for more Diablo Immortal content. The fight never ends. Let's keep crushing it.